I've had quite a few moments in my life that changed my whole trajectory, and this was one of them. I had just stepped into entrepreneurship. I was brand new, overwhelmed by a mountain of problems, bills piling up, and some clients falling through. Everything felt like it was caving in. And I want to be clear, getting rich wasn't my goal. I just needed enough money to keep my dream alive, because purpose always outweighs overworking. And one night I was venting to God like I usually do. I said, Lord, look at all these issues. Look at what I'm facing. I need you to fix this. And then I heard a small, still voice say, something so simple, yet so shocking, that it stopped me in my tracks. And he said, what are you going to do about it? And I froze. I had been waiting for God to fix everything, but he was waiting for me to take responsibility for what he'd already given me. And in that single moment, it shifted the way I understood faith, work, and wealth. You see, up until that moment, I thought faith meant waiting. I thought if things didn't work out, it must have been God's will. But that night showed me different. Faith often means moving, even while you're still unsure, being led by his Spirit. Faith is not denial of the problem. It's the decision to move forward, trusting God in the middle of problems. You see, the problem for many believers isn't that God isn't speaking. It's that we keep waiting for him to do what he's already asked us to do. And don't get me wrong, I know God can send supernatural provision. We see it all through Scripture. Manna in the wilderness, ravens feeding Elijah, the coin in the fish's mouth. But those moments were usually mercy for a season of need or transition. But most of the time, God blesses through instruction, wisdom, and work he places in our hands. So let me say it like this. God's not going to make you rich by himself. He's the source, but he calls you to partner with him. And here's what I learned. The moment you commit to a God-given dream, you step into a fight. The enemy rarely contests you until you start moving forward. The moment you start building a business, writing the book, starting the ministry, resistance rises. And a lot of us think that it's God holding us back. But in reality, it's the enemy opposing your very dream or calling. And Ephesians 6:12 says, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against spiritual wickedness in high places. That means some of the opposition you face isn't just circumstantial, it's spiritual. Paul told Timothy to wage war over the prophecy spoken about him. That means, again, the promise itself becomes a target. So faith isn't just waiting, it's moving forward under fire. You have to be ready to pray, to persevere, and to keep acting on what God told you to do. And I literally have a whiteboard or a clear board where I write everything that God gives me down. So I keep it in front of my face for when opposition comes, because I know it's going to come. And I know that our minds have a tendency to forget what we learned. So every important word becomes a building block into the prophetic call and for the battle that God has sent me into. So let's talk about wisdom is a weapon. A lot of people pray for wisdom as if it's just information, but wisdom is truth applied, knowledge that works because it aligns with God's unchanging ways. And in Proverbs 4:7 it says, wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. Wisdom is the weapon that makes your faith effective. You can swing at darkness with anger and emotion, but wisdom is what's going to ground you, and it's what is going to hit the target. So God may give you business ideas, a new approach to your work, or a strategy for saving and investing, and that wisdom becomes your battle plan. But the question is, are we waiting on God long enough to hear him? Are we writing down things that we get in prayer, thoughts, ideas? Or are we just so busy that we never slow down to get instruction? Let's talk about God's development process. If God has given you a dream, it won't always be easy. He allows the challenges because they develop you. He toughens your skin so you can handle the weight of the calling. He brings light to your dark areas. He grows your character to match your influence. Sometimes the very obstacle you're praying for him to remove is the tool he's using to strengthen you, like the thorn in the flesh Paul had, because the abundance of revelations that he carried to keep him humble. And David fought lions and bears before he ever fought Goliath. God didn't remove the battles. He used them to prepare David for his future. If God handed you the full blessing before you were ready to steward it, it would literally crush you. So he strengthens you as you grow. So let's talk about the partnership shift. That night in prayer didn't remove all the problems, but it did shift me. I stopped blaming the delay on God, and I started using what he had already placed in my hands. I wrote the vision down. I continued to learn new skills and master the ones I already had. I made mistakes and got back up all over again. As I moved, doors opened, and my obedience activated what God had already placed inside me. And let's talk about sacrificing for mastery. Here's something most people underestimate. Greatness requires sacrifice. It's not just going to happen out of nowhere. If you want to rise above average, you have to give up what average people hold on to. I had to cut out time-wasting habits, TV, fewer late nights, scrolling on my phone, more nights studying marketing, sales, communication, and leadership. I had to sacrifice, and I'm still learning. I had to sacrifice comfort to learn skills that would actually serve people and multiply the gifts God had given me. And if you want to be excellent at your craft, whether it's building a business, writing, coaching, creating, you have to master it. And mastery just doesn't happen by accident. It happens when you say no to good things so you can focus on the essential things. And Jesus said in Luke 9:23, whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves, take up their cross daily, and follow me. So following Christ in your calling means laying down distractions so you can carry what he's put in your hands. So let's talk about 3 practical steps that line up with scripture that you can do today to push yourself forward. Write the vision, Habakkuk 2:2. Stop keeping your ideas in your head. Write them down. Slow down enough for God to speak to you. Journal. This will bring clarity and focus to what he wants you to do. And start with what you have, but move fast. I'm not saying be hasty, but don't wait for the perfect conditions. Use what you already have in your hand. Sow your time, your money, store it, scale. Sow when God leads you. Store your time, money, and resources wisely. Look for ways to multiply what he entrusts you with. And scripture is full of moments where promise was given and then a fight was required to step into it. We can look at the parable of the talents, Matthew 25:14-30. The master didn't reward the servant who buried what he had. He blessed the ones who put it to work and multiplied it. The widow's oil, 2 Kings 4:1-7. The widow cried out for help. The prophet didn't hand her money. He gave her an instruction. He said, go borrow jars, pour out the oil that you have. And as she acted in faith, the oil multiplied. If she had waited for a miracle without moving, she would have stayed in debt. And Joshua in the promised land, Joshua 1, God promised them the land, but they still had to cross the Jordan, march and fight. The promise never removed responsibilities. And Nehemiah, rebuilding the wall, Nehemiah 4, they built with one hand and held a sword in the other. And that's what it looks like to build while contending with opposition. Whew, that's a powerful revelation right there. So if you've been sitting and waiting for God to change your finances or your future, this is your wake-up call. Stop waiting on God to make you rich. He already gave you the power. Now it's your move. Pray for wisdom, write the vision, take the next step in faith, and let God shape you in the process. Remember, the battles that we face may be the very training ground, preparing us to carry the blessing well. And the power to get wealth that he gives us. Let me close with this, because I know some of you are asking, does God really want us to prosper? And in Deuteronomy 8:18 it says, it is he who gives you the power to get wealth, that he may establish his covenant. Is everybody going to be super rich? No, but I believe a level of prosperity is there for the believers in this season. Why? So that he can establish his covenant here on the earth for the last days. I believe God is raising up a remnant in entrepreneurship and wealth to be able to influence on a greater scale. But never forget that God himself is the source. He doesn't bless you so you can hoard it. He blesses you so his covenant, again, his kingdom can be advanced. Wealth is not about greed. It's about stewardship, multiplication, and legacy. So God gives us the power to get wealth. But that power looks like wisdom, creativity, faith, diligence, and the willingness to sacrifice lesser things so you can master what matters. And I also have a full video on activating the power to get wealth below in the description if you want to know more about that. And when you partner with him, what's in your hand can multiply beyond what you imagined. And in Philippians 2:13 it says, for it is God who works in you both to will and to act according to his good purpose. God works in you, but you still have to act. And that's it for this video. If this video has changed your life in some way, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share it with somebody who might need it. And if you want to sharpen your focus for more wealth, I invite you to check out my accelerated mindset training. This is the exact mindset that changed my life forever. Help me to get more done in less time. Help me to stay hyper-focused and to start crushing my goals like clockwork. And I also just launched the one-person business digital empire blueprint where I show you how I made a whole salary online with the principles in the training. Links down below. Build your empire. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. And I did add the Accelerated Mind to the Digital Empire Blueprint just recently, so you can get the 2-for-1. Price may go up soon. And if you followed me for a while now, you know that I'm working on the Power to Get Wealth book. It's still in progress. Going to do my best to finish it up in the next few months. If you want to get on the early launch list so you don't forget, the link will be down in the description at thepowertogetwealthbook.com. And again, that's it for this video. I'll see you on the next one. Be blessed, and I'll see you soon.